if we win today, we finish with 85 points, and that's going to be good enough for second place in Ligue 1. If PSG wins, they're going to finish with 102, which tells you just exactly how steep a hill we still have to climb. And that's after we beat them, legitimately. My name's FM19, and this is the Return of Gloria with SC Bastia, episode 86. Well, because of what happened with the French Cup, we didn't play PSG back-to-back. We played them a week and a bit ago, and we beat them 1-0, but we're going to get to that here in just a second. After getting thumped by we didn't get thumped by PSG. 5-3, it was a very, very good game, and then the 3-0 against Monaco was an absolute thumping. We rebounded with a win streak. Away at Cannes, we won 3-2. Against OGC Nice, we won 2-1. At home against Guingamp, we won 4-1, and then we beat PSG 1-0. And I said legitimately in the intro because this legitimately was a very good win for us. This may not be PSG's strongest squad, but it has at least 8 of their best 11 players on it. The only ones I'm not sure of are Ivanov, Silic. I don't know how you pronounce that. But even so, if he's not a starter, he is. He's getting 275,000 euros a week. Anyhow, it's a fantastic squad, and we held them to a shutout. Sessegnon had a goal in the 86th minute off a set piece that was really, really good, and that's after Fernandez had a goal taken away from him in the 57th minute. They called him offsides. VAR called him offsides, and only someone who was blind, incompetent, or works for FIFA would have called him offsides. I really thought we were going to get the draw, and then 4 minutes before the game's ended, we had a set piece, and Sessegnon scored. Was absolutely fabulous. It was a brilliant, brilliant game. And I believe it's the only loss PSG has had all season. Now, Marseille beat them a couple weeks prior, and they just lost to Monaco in the French Cup semifinal. So we beat them, Marseille beat them, and they were on another huge win streak going back to the Monaco game last season that they lost. So between Monaco and Marseille beating them, they went another full year without losing, and then they lost twice this year. But still, that leaves them with 99 points. Oh, this is constantly resetting. Why is this constantly resetting? I remember that's one of the reasons I wasn't a huge fan of it. Well, it's one of the reasons I stopped using this skin, because a bunch of the things would start resetting. It's me. I'll change it again here in a little while. But as you can see, PSG currently leads Ligue 1 with 99 points. They have a possibility to break 100. They're playing Metz today, who are in 10th place. So it is entirely possible. We are currently second on 82 points. We're playing Montpellier, who are in 13th. If we win, we go to 85. We claim second place. If we draw, there's a chance Lyon could jump us. Monaco is solidly in 4th place unless Marseille wins, and then they'll move up. It's a whole raft of scenarios going on. Who does Marseille play? They're playing Lyon. No, that's the French Cup final. They're playing Troyes. So we have had a very good run of games. We've had an absolutely fantastic season. All kidding aside, it's been absolutely fantastic. And we've just, as an example, we're on 85 points. 85 points would be winning the Bundesliga. Now, it'd be good enough for second in the Premier League because Liverpool's just absolutely running away with it this year. And no Crystal Palace. No, La Liga was real competitive. We would have finished 4th there, behind the 2 Madrid teams and Barcelona. And it would have been good enough for 1st in Serie A. So in 2 of what you could probably call the top 5 divisions, we would have finished 1st, and we definitely would have finished 2nd in at least 1. Maybe I'll be honest, I kind of snuck through them really quick. But yeah, 2nd place with 85 points. And it did it again. But for the moment, our 68 goals were the 4th highest. Our 30th goals allowed were 3rd best. 75 yellow cards, 2nd highest. I don't know who's higher than us. I'm sure I could find out, but I really don't want to. Our attendance dipped a little bit to 19th highest. We're really close to maxing at the stand. We are purchasing the stadium from the city council this year. And then after that, I might ask for either an expansion or a new stadium. I asked for a new stadium last year, and they said we didn't have the base for it. Maybe I can get an expansion in. We'll have to see. If we go to the league table here like this, PSG had 13 goals scored against them the entire season. And second best was Marseille, then us. Goals for, PSG scored 85. PSG had 104 rather. Lyon and Monaco each had 85, and we had 68. So that's just insane. So we've got Montpellier coming up, and then we're going to do an end-of-season review, and then a busy off-season. I've actually already signed some players who are nearing the end of their contract. Got a couple choices to make in a couple positions. I'm still vacillating on Fernandez. But for now, it's Montpellier. So I'm going to start my best 11, check the reserves, and we're going to come back with that match in just a bit. Well, the only person who is not starting today that I would consider part of my best 11 would be Macon, and he is out with an injury. He's just coming back from it. He's like at 76% fitness, so he's not going to see the field today. But we've still got a very strong squad. Orlov in goal, Sessignon, Jiangsheng, Hrustic, and Flores as the defensive back four. Flecek is the defensive midfielder behind Heraldez and Milescu. Correa and Bamba is the attacking midfielders, and Fernandez up top is the striker. A couple of these last games, I did experiment with a 4-2-4 with Correa up top as well, and that seemed to really work out, so it's a possible tactic for next year. The problem is I've got very good defensive midfielders that I would like to keep using. So it'll be a tactic I keep in the back pocket. Masana's cross gets hit over the crossbar. Heraldez sends it in, knocked away by Stoic. Pisek. Oh, Sessignon steals it from him and absolutely buries it far post. Pisek didn't even get a foot on it. Sessignon just came up and bowled him out of the way. That was great. Masana just went out injured for Montpellier. That's not good for them. Coley. Oh, there we go. Takes the shot, swings it wide. I apparently zoomed in too far. I couldn't figure out I wasn't seeing the guys on the sideline. There we go. It's been a day. Flores picked up a twisted knee. You know what? That's okay. We'll bring him off at the half because I've got Armin No on the bench. And this is going to be No's last game as a Bastia player. He has a future transfer to Hanover. He came to me after the close of the January transfer window, said he didn't think he was going to get any more playing time here. I told him he was a valuable player and he was part of my plans, but he wasn't going to get a ton of playing time. He was going to be coming off the bench and in some of the cup games. And he said, no, I'd rather move. And you know what? He's a great guy. I love him. I'm not going to keep him on the bench and keep him unhappy, especially as he's a team leader. And Hamburg made a viable offer for him. They're paying $3.3 million for him. For a guy who came up with me, is a decent defensive right back and a pretty okay advanced midfielder on the right, I'm okay with that. Semper launches it forward. No knocks it down, but it goes right to Colley. He sends it to Pisek. Back to Ellenby. Over to Bafunta. Back to Ellenby. All the way back to Semper. Into the crowd. Milescu knocks it down to Fernandez. Cuts left, over to Correa. Taps it forward, crosses it in. Fernandez is there, somehow manages to get it off the post and in. That cross looked ambitious. Let's see what happened here. Correa lofts it forward. Fernandez almost was slide tackled, somehow still manages to get the ball off, and then it goes in off the crossbar, and the Montpellier keeper didn't even make a move for it. Zhang Cheng off the poor throw by Montpellier. Over to Correa. Drives forward. Over to Fernandez. We're outnumbered. He takes the shot. He hits the crossbar. Heraldes on the corner kick. Into the crowd. Hrustic. Back out to Sessegnon. Why would you end the highlight there like that? Come on, FM. 60 minutes in. We're going to get Milescu off. Bring Osmani on. We're going to bring Correa off and bring on Ruiz. I told my guys to concentrate. They got frustrated. Coming up on the end of the match, 14 shots, 7 on target for us, 15 and 4 for Montpellier. Heraldes, corner kick in for us. Muscar knocks it away. Vlasik's there. Over to No. To Bamba. To Osmani. Back to No. For Hrustic. Back to No. And that is the game. And we finish on 85 points, a point ahead of Lyon. I'm going to save this real quick, and then we're going to come back with the season review. The board did set the initial budgets after the Lens game. We played them 2 days after we played PSG, so we were lucky with the draw. 1.2 million euro payroll and an initial transfer budget of 38.14 million. And then scrolling up to, if I click here, will it take me to the top? Yeah, it will. Flores got injured, twisting out 3 to 4 days. Sessegnon was brilliant. Let me praise him here real quick. Received 17.67 million euros for finishing second. It's our highest finish ever, historically speaking. So I'm going to do the press conference. We'll be back in just a sec. Budget-wise, for the minute, we have an overall balance of 81 million euros. Our loss this season is just over 1.5 million euros. We've got a decent bit of wiggle room in the payroll and stuff like that. Do this now before everybody leaves on vacation. From Theory Correa on up, those are the players whose contracts are expiring. A couple of them I'll probably re-sign just to keep them on the reserve squad. Berntsen, Wickland, Filipovic, Fall, not Zerbi. Charpentier, probably not. Clausio, probably not. Santi, not. Armand is leaving. Miguel will probably leave in the summer transfer window. Frank, I am not sure about. Vinicius, he'll come back, but he'll go to the reserves, or I'll probably loan him out again. A lot of the younger players, Kasongo and that, will get loaned out as well. Pichon and Valet will come back. They will be on the first team next year. They've both had productive seasons. Pichon is at Nimes, I want to say, in Ligue 2. 33 appearances. He has 14 goals and 4 assists. Valet is at Valenciennes. He just picked up an injury. What did he do? I'll have to check that out here in a minute. But in 23 games, he has 13 goals and an assist. 5 players of the match. Oh, 2 to 4 days. That's nothing too serious. So, but if I take out the under 19 guys and the people on loan, you can see I've got a couple of players that are wanted. Heraldes is wanted by a lot of the big English clubs, and then non-sponsored Inter wants him, but I am more than happy to pay him to keep him here. Mihalescu is wanted by Man United unless they give me a ton of money. I'm keeping him here. Sessegnon's our highest paid player, 125,000 euros, but I had to pay him that to get him here. Mihalescu is worth 39 million euros. It'll take at least double that for me to consider selling him. If we sort by appearances, Mihalescu leads us with 40, 7 off the bench, 6 goals, 7 assists, 4 players of the match. Fernandez, not the best campaign, 40 appearances off the bench, 11 goals, 6 assists, 2 players of the match. He's young. He still has some potential to grow. But I've talked about it before in previous episodes. Yang Chen, a solid season as a defensive center back. 5 goals, 1 assist, 40 starts, 7.13 rating. Hustic, another solid season for him as well. 2 goals, 3 assists, 1 player of the match off 39 appearances. Heraldez, 37 appearances, 5 off the bench, 15 goals, 8 assists, 6 players of the match. The fact that a midfielder is currently leading us in goals is probably a big reason he is on a lot of clubs' radars. Macon, solid season, 36 appearances, 10 goals, 6 assists, 4 players of the match. If it weren't for some niggling injuries, he probably would have been around 12 or 15 goals. Correa, again, a solid season, 31 appearances, 13 off the bench, 12 goals, 6 assists, 4 players of the match, mostly from the attacking midfielder left position. He did get some starts as a striker in the 4-2-4. Labano Osmani, the primary backup at the midfield position, 28 appearances, 15 off the bench, 7 goals, 1 assist, 3 players of the match. Orlov, in a half season, 28 appearances. Let me click on him. 18 appearances in League 1, 13 goals allowed, 10 shutouts, and a 7.02 rating. Was a brilliant pickup. You know, like I said when I got him, as much as I like Vincinius, Orlov, I believe, is as good as Vincinius will be. And I don't think we finished second place with Vincinius in goal. I think we've still finished top 6. I don't think we finished second, though. Pereira was a youth player. Theory Correa came on as a backup more often than not, but he got starts on the left and the right. 27 appearances, 12 off the bench, 5 goals, 8 assists. Fletchik was our primary defensive midfielder. 26 appearances, 8 off the bench, 3 goals, 1 assist. Javier Ruiz was Correa's primary backup on the left side. Played there when Correa was playing somewhere else, was getting a rest. 17 appearances, 3 off the bench, 3 goals, 6 assists. Maury Bamba, 16 assists, 13 appearances off the bench, 6 goals, 12 assists, 1 player of the match. Malangu was supposed to be on my primary backup at striker before he banged his knee up. Armand No, 7 appearances, 8 off the bench, 2 goals, 5 assists. Ayrton is going to be Vlecic's primary backup next year. Jarrett got 5 starts. Was okay. Goal-wise, Heraldez led us. The captain of the team. Still young, 21 years old. Still has another star and a half to grow. More than happy to keep him here. As a matter of fact, yeah, he just recently signed a new deal. I thought I'd done that. I couldn't remember off the top of my head. But for 40,000 euros a year, yeah, it says his value is 7.75 million, but it's going to take Milescu money for me to move him on. As good as he is and as good as he will be. This curtain comes down on the league. European football, European Champions Cup, 85 points, second place. Lyon, 1 point behind us at 84. Monaco rounds up the top 4 at 81. Marseille finishes 5th at 79 points. Nantes at 70 points. Bordeaux, 58th, qualifies them for European football because PSG won the Coup de Ligue? No. You know what? I can check. Yeah, PSG won the Coup de Ligue, and as a result, they qualified for the Euro Cup, but because they finished first, it goes down. Well done to Bordeaux. For the moment, Strasbourg and Troyes are being relegated. Saint-Étienne is in the playoffs. They are in 18th place by virtue of goal differential. Angers had a slightly better season than they did. Our reserve squad is still playing, but they'll finish... No, bottom half. Excuse me. They'll finish bottom half. At best, they'll have 36 points, so they're not going to get relegated out of the reserves. At the moment, it looks like Grenoble is going to get promoted out because every team above them is a reserves team. Our 19th squad had a really good season, even without some of the best players in it. A lot of them went out on loan. They're finishing 5th. And competition-wise, they made it to the Champions Cup quarterfinal where they lost to the PSG under-19s. And then they made it to the Gambardella Cup 8th round, and PSG won that as well. Yeah, PSG's winning a lot of things. The under-19s had some really good performances. A 6-0, a 5-1, a 5-0, a 4-0. They lost in extra time in the Gambardella. They, PSG shut them out 2-0, but it happens. It looks like we've got about another week to go before the actual end of the season stuff occurs. So we'll be back for that in just a bit. Well, end of season awards are here. Geraldes was named to the overall best 11. But looks like he was added as a reserve. Unless I'm not seeing him. Nope, they added him as a reserve. And the season awards. Geraldes, player of the season, 75%. Correa, distant second. Labin Osmani, the goal of the season versus Troyes. If this isn't the bicycle kick goal, then frankly it's not the goal of the season. But I can't remember if that was Osmani or Fernandez. Flores to Bamba, to Milescu, Osmani. I had like 10 of those goals from 5 different players. No, Fernandez had this bicycle kick goal off cross. It was just absolutely fabulous. Zhang Chen, signing of the season. Jing Chen, signing of the season, $7.27 million. And Geraldes, young player of the season, 21 years old. Team of the season, no surprises there. Well, Theory over Flores, I could see. And Magahalis is at left back, yeah. And Sessignon, advanced midfield on the left ahead of Correa. That's interesting. Season review, absolutely fabulous. Runner-up in League One, knocked out in the group stage of the Champions Cup, which was a bit of a bummer, but we did have a pretty hard group. Lost in the second knockout round versus Roma. That was a bit of a disaster, to be honest with you. Lost in the quarterfinal of the French Cup to Monaco. Lost in the final of the Coup de Ligue to PSG. And Man City is playing Chelsea in the Champions Cup final. And we finished third in Group F. So Madrid and Benfica. Madrid won, Benfica lost. Atletico beat PSG. Wow. I totally missed that when I was going through PSG's schedule earlier. And then Chelsea beat them on Man City beat them on aggregate, rather. Bastia, 2020 players. Where are they at now? Mariano's at Nice. Did he get any starts this season? He did. And he's not too great. Gresh Angelini is at Stade Rennais. Did he get starts this season? Not really. They'd both be starters on the team now if they'd stayed. Jean-Marc Perrin. Haven't clicked on him in a while. Not too shabby. Dynamics-wise, I don't think this is going to be a huge issue. Frank is the only one I'm really kind of worried about. No drop down to influential, and I've got plenty of people to step up and take over him. Fernandez leaving, that could be a problem, but I've got plenty of people to step up and take his place as well. End of season team meeting. We're going to qualify for the Champions League. Conference review. They love me. I'm untouchable. Question is, am I going to have any job offers this off season? Yeah, Ayrton tore his hamstring, which will probably slow him down. He is my young Brazilian defensive midfielder who's got a lot of potential. Hoping to get him some starts next season. Preseason start date 6/26. Yeah, we'll go with that. Ground plan shelved? What the hell? Funds do not exist? What do you mean? We've got 81 million euros. We got 79 million euro. Are you kidding me? I really need how to learn to curse in French. You've got to be kidding me. How can you... So we're stuck with a stadium that has 20,000 seats in it. Unless somehow the city of Bastia was driving a hard bargain on the cost of the ground and it was more than 79 million euros. You know what? Okay, we'll try and buy it again. Another year. You know, I'm going to keep doing that, and I'll throw my fact that I'm virtually unfireable around to make it happen. Of course, this is also what I get for playing a club that's on an island. Okay, we received 4 million euros in Champions Cup TV revenue. We received 3.32 million for the coefficient ranking money. Chelsea ended up winning. Yeah, PSG. Quarterfinal exit. Okay. Next season, we'll still play the 4-3-3 or the 4-1-2-3, but next season we're going to be playing a lot more of this 4-2-4. If I hold on to Fernandez, it'll be Fernandez and then either Pichon or Valet rotating out every game. And sometimes Pichon and Valet will start as well. Correa will be on the left with Ruiz as the backup. Macon on the right with probably Bamba, unless Bamba chooses to leave, or someone in a bit better. The midfielder position, I got a ton of very good players at. The rotation between Heroldas, Omani, and Mihalescu really works. And then I've got 22 more players who can play that. Fleshik can come up. Kopsiana can come up. I got a couple of youngsters. Marcus Stoic can come in and as well. Defensive midfielder, I'm going to have to switch back to a formation that has that, is Vlecek and Ayrton right here, who are going to be the primary starter and the primary backup. Good young Brazilian, a lot of potential, very good deep line playmaker, pretty good at all the other roles as well. Was out on loan, didn't exactly have the... Well, he was out on loan, but CEA didn't get any hardly playing time, which was really frustrating. And then he came back in January. Got some starts here. It was a lot better. We'll have to see. He's got a lot of potential. I really like him. Defensive backline's pretty much set. Sessignon, Hrustic, Xiang Chang, and Flores. I'm going to have to bring in someone like a Correa, who they want too much money for. They want upwards of 20-something million for him, and I'm just not going to pay that for a guy who's going to come off the bench. And Orlov's going to be in goal. Jarek is going to be his backup unless he leaves and I can bring in someone else to back up Orlov. Vinicius, I will probably send out on loan. Next year we'll probably finish second, but we showed we could beat PSG this year, a very good PSG team. And I think if we start doing that on a more regular basis, the chances of us winning the Kuda League are very, very good. If you did like what you've seen or heard, please leave a like, subscribe to the channel for more content. Questions, criticisms, comments, leave those down below. I'll answer them as fast as I can. My name's FM19, and I thank you for watching the Return on Gloria with SC Bastia, episode 86.